Hey, welcome to the video. 3 reasons why making a YouTube channel is better than investing in stocks. Let's get into it. First reason, it's an investment. So it's not gambling if you make a YouTube channel. Now, why do I say that? Because think about it. You're making your own content. You're putting it out there. Yeah, you ain't getting no views. I mean, hey, I'm a brand new YouTuber myself. I'm not getting the views that I want to. Maybe when I look back in a year or whatever, maybe I'll get something. I would love to be monetized and make a little money, but it's still an investment. Now, why do I say that? Because just like when you were putting money into the stock market or you're putting money into a savings account, little by little, things start to get better. Especially if you're making YouTube videos and then you're getting better, you're crafting it. Like, for example, when I talk about my YouTube channel, if you look at my videos, I went through a phase where I started out just being real personal, being authentic, and then I wanted to chase the algorithm. So I started making the same type of finance videos that everybody makes. And now I'm back to being authentic. I'm back to being comfortable and not having to sit around and edit all the time and trying to make sure I'm doing the same things as everybody else. No, I want to invest in me. And when you invest in you, over time, it's going to build up. You might not be getting a lot of views right now. You might not be getting a lot of watch hours, but who knows? You put something up, it's good quality, it's good material, people are going to come. It's better than gambling because all these people who are doing sports gambling, you got to be a very special person to hit. That ain't going to happen for most people. Yeah, YouTube doesn't get most people money when they don't put in any effort. And I'm not talking about putting any effort as in you gotta have stock footage, you gotta have fancy camera cuts. I'm talking about the basic things. What does your title look like? What does your thumbnail look like? How are you coming off as a person? I'd much rather do something like this than waste all my money on a sports gambling app, or, oh, I'm gonna put my money as a lottery ticket and that's gonna do something. Nah, man. I'd rather go this route and see what happens. Here's the second reason why YouTube is better than stocks. You're in control rather than having to rely on someone else. Now you say, well, no, Richard, because I got to worry about the views and subscribers. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about you being able to come to a mic, get a video camera, get a light, and start shooting. When you make a YouTube channel, you don't have to rely on anybody but you. Say you're a person who wants to start a small business. I'll give you an example. I wanted to start a small business. I tried to start like 3 or 4 this year alone. I was looking for a side hustle. And I had made $1 on not one of them. Now, I hadn't made $1 on one of them. Maybe I'll make more money later on. But the point is, there's one business I started with my dad. There's one business I started with my buddy. And that takes teamwork. That takes collaboration. That takes going out and finding customers. That takes advertising. With YouTube, look at the diversification. Look at all the people who've blown up. You got this one person over here who really likes turtles. You got another one who likes Godzilla. You got another one who makes real finance-driven videos. It's no telling when somebody's going to click and what niche you've settled in that they just really love. How many of us has gone down YouTube rabbit holes? When you're going down that rabbit hole, you come across anything. And hey, if it interests a person, then they're going to watch and then they're going to binge. If you got a personality that someone likes, they're going to watch and they're going to binge. Another example why I said, let me just turn the camera on and do some authentic videos. You know why? Because I can. I'm not having to answer to anybody except for myself. Now, of course, there are things on YouTube that are out of your control. You can't control who views the video. You can't control, how the algorithm of YouTube puts things out. But really think about it though. If you're starting a YouTube channel and you want to get viewers and you want to get subscribers and you want to grow, nobody's stopping you from continuing to make videos. Nobody's stopping you from continuing to get better at editing, storytelling, getting to the point. That's all in your control. I mean, man, this thing is wide open. For me, quite honestly, right now it's just a hobby. But this is one of the most profitable hobbies that a person can have. This is a whole different world. Since 2005, when YouTube started, Started a whole different world. You got people out here making money on some stuff that I have absolutely zero interest in. But you know what? A whole lot of other people have interest in it. That's the second reason why YouTube is better than stocks. Here's the third reason. It gives you a chance to grow your personal brand, your personal business, and it can even help you get hired. Let me break each one of those down. When I talk about your personal brand, my channel is Richard Eccles. That's my name. My personal brand is I talk to regular people about finances to try and help them during these economic times that we're in. When someone looks at that, they may say, there's another YouTuber over there that talks about the same thing, but I like the way Richard talks about it. That's a personal brand. That's an authentic, personal touch that nobody can get unless they talk to Richard Eccles, because I am me. And so when I get on this camera and I get on this mic, you're getting Richard. That's a personal brand. Who knows what it could turn into? Maybe I may look back at this video in a year, 2 years, and maybe it'll be at 0 views. Or maybe it'll be at a couple thousand. Who knows? But that's a chance that YouTube, this platform, gives me. Sorry, there's an ant on my camera. Wild. Anyway, don't know where that came from. Probably need to clean up around here. But yeah, build up a personal brand. Okay, let's talk about a business. How do you build up a personal business? Well, yes, I mentioned I got a couple of businesses that I started. This is a great vehicle to be able to build those up. One day I might come on here and talk about my business and talk about how I can build it up when I have a larger following. What does that do? If you've ever done anything involving business, one of the hardest things in business is to get the trust of the customer. Now, if you've got a YouTube channel and a potential customer, they see your YouTube channel, they see your videos, they get to know you through the camera. They see your authenticity, they see your brand, they see it's not even what you're selling, they just see what you're about. And they can see, okay, this person is an expert in the field. So, for example, if I had a business where I was talking to people about finances and that prospective customer looks me up on YouTube, sees that I have a large following and sees that I'm giving good advice and sees that, okay, he is authentic, it's done all the work for me without me even talking to that person, without me even dealing with that person or that business. This is free advertising, and I know it's not free because you got to buy a nice camera and lights and a mic and things like that. Yeah, you got to invest, but what business do you not have to invest in order to get a good return? What I'm saying is that the ROI, the return of investment when it comes to YouTube, could be spectacular, is spectacular. Where else can you do that? Because back in the day when people had a business and they wanted to build it up, they had to get on TV. They had to pay for advertising. You ain't doing that. You just put on your camera and go. And before you know it, people might be paying you for what you're offering in the videos, but they want a one-on-one. You know, for example, there's something I could do with this channel. Once I get a following, if I get a following, seeing what the algorithm does, but okay, hey, one-on-one coaching sessions. We'll set it up on Zoom. I'll tell you exactly how I was able to get out of credit card debt, build a 6 to 12 month emergency fund, and how I simplified my life. But it's personal advice. That's what you can do through YouTube. That's what it enables you to do. That's why, again, I say this is a better investment than stocks. Okay? Last thing, I talked about how it gives you a chance to get hired. Think of the job market that we're in. People are doing interviews. They're doing 3, 4, 5-round interviews sometimes. What if that interviewer saw that you were an expert in your field because they saw what you did on your YouTube channel? When you're writing a resume, depending on what field you want to get into, a lot of times, like for example, say someone wanted to get into data analytics. Okay, on their resume, they would put, oh, here's my project portfolio. Here's my link that you can go to see my work. Wouldn't it be even better if they saw your work on your YouTube channel? Maybe you could do something where you say, okay, I'm going to build this dashboard live. And then the interviewer and goes to watch the live stream of you building the dashboard, and they see, oh, this person really has expertise. And that's from data. What if like I saw a video the other day, a guy was a carpenter and he was making guitars from scratch, wood and everything. Okay, so you want to go work with a local group of carpenters. Okay, check out my YouTube channel, check out my work. That's way better than just clicking a link and seeing a couple of pictures, or clicking a link and seeing some code. No, you can watch me do this in real time. And yeah, some companies don't want you to have a YouTube presence depending on the things that you say. There are a lot of people who I don't think are too wise because they get on and complain about their jobs and end up losing their jobs. By the way, I love my job. I would like to keep my job because I'd like to keep being able to build my emergency fund, by the way. But there's also a flip side to that. I'll give you a perfect example. Alex the Analyst. This guy built a following on YouTube, giving tutorials about data analytics, and now he was able to leave his 9-to-5 job and do consulting, and he's making way more on the back of his YouTube channel and the consulting work that he gets because people know he's an expert in the field. Where else can you do that? That's what I'm saying. YouTube, this is great. You know, why did I create a YouTube channel? Why do I put out YouTube videos? Because the number one thing, for me personally, it's fun. I've been making videos since I was like 12 years old. So this is great to me. It's a great hobby, but it's also a hobby that can turn into a little bit of a side hustle to where I can afford some groceries. It could turn into something that could make me a good amount of income one day, as long as enough people watch. Dude, let me tell you something. You get involved in the stock market, and the stock market, it has some very good, very safe investments. I talk about them all the time, the index funds, VOO, VEU, things like that. But when those things go down, you're cooked. You're cooked. Whereas YouTube, yeah, you know, you can go down, of course, but the safer investment, you can have a YouTube video up for, you know, who knows how many months, and it blows up and goes viral, and then all of a sudden you're getting paid. It's not something like the stock market where you're betting on a stock and then it went up a lot, now I'm wealthy. That's very hard. That's why when you do things like the stock market, you play the slow game. Whereas YouTube, you don't have to play the slow game, because it's not only about how much videos that you make, but it's the quality of the videos. It's the quality of the voice you want to bring to YouTube. It's the authenticity you want to bring to it. And who knows what could happen. For me, it's a no-brainer. Why not do it? See what happens. I grow, great. I don't, great. Either way, I got to have a hobby. I got to do something fun. I got to put something together that I'm proud of. But hey, those are my 3 reasons why I think YouTube is better than stocks. This is my best investment as far as finances can go. But comment below, let me know. Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? Do you like videos like this where I'm just talking in the camera? Let me know. Until then, y'all have a good one.